My dear friends in Jesus Christ, hope is a theological virtue that helps us to grow in the Christian living. And without hope, our life becomes so sad, so frustrating, so inhuman, I would say. Therefore, we need to grow in our hope so that with the hope that we carry, the hope that we have, we can continue to live a very joyful, very happy Christian life. But then, when we think about our actual, real life situations, when we are faced with failures, when we are faced with failures in various fields, various areas in our lives, we tend to lose. The very first thing is to lose hope. Our experience would tell us, look here, this is what happened. So there is no hope. You are failed. You are a failed project. And accepting this untruth, this is not true, my dear friends, but accepting this lie, we remain to be the failure that we are and remain there, stuck and stagnated in that particular experience without getting over it or moving forward. We don't. We give in to that experience of failure and remain there, get ourselves stagnated in our lives, causing harm to one's own life and harm to everyone around us. My dear friends, so how shall we remedy this situation? So therefore from today, this week, let us take a few examples of failures in various areas in our lives and compare that to our present moments, present life. And to think and examine and see whether these things are prevalent in my life and how am I looking at those moments, those incidents. Am I also stagnated, stuck up in a experience of that sort, or are we ready to move forward? Come it over. We need to actually reflect and make decisions. My dear friends, let us take today as an example the failures in many of our students' life, which is exams, failures in exams, or not having reached the desirable levels from one's own education journey. Having low grades, having low marks, not excelling in various subjects as students, and sometimes for some important examinations of some certain value, failing those examinations, not reaching the pass mark at least, failing in one's education, failing in few other areas of studies, assignments, even some interviews for that matter. How do we feel when we face with the failures of our performances? These are our performances. Academic is our performance. And if you are doing if you are doing a sport, a game, failures of those games or that sport, that events, is also a kind of failure in our performance. And then in interviews, because those gives us as various stages in our lives. If we don't cross these borders, those barriers, we actually cannot move forward. If we face with the failures of these sort, how do we respond? More often than not, my dear friends, we would give up. We would give up trying in those circumstances. Sometimes we might try the first try, the second try, and then we give up. This is not for me. Sometimes we would tell our parents, our teachers, that I am not ready to do this once again. I am not capable of doing this. I am weak in my studies. And we give up in those areas. Sometimes we think that is actually the end of the world, and therefore we try to end the world for us. We find a lot of students committing suicide after receiving their O-levels or A-levels results. We think that's the end of the world. Sometimes when we fail in some of our interviews, we give up our dreams. We give up our desire to work or trade in a different field. We give up that dream and come back home empty-handed, sad, frustrated. My dear friends, today I would like to give you the good news. Something that you have heard enough, a number of times I know. Failures are always becomes the pillars of success. It's your failures that gives you the foundations that you should build up your character. If you have failed once, try once again. If you fail another time, you can try another time until you become successful, my dear friends. So, it's a journey actually. It's a process. It's a process of learning, facing the failures. Sometimes when these things happen, as we say, there's a saying like this, the answer becomes a lot of philosophical until the problem is yours. So you might tell me it's easier said than done. It's easy for you, Father, to tell this from the pulpit. But in the real life, it's not that easy to face this. Yes, we know, because every one of us have failures in our lives. I myself have experienced that. But then, if you stop from there, if you think that's the end of your life, that is the problem. Failure is never a problem if you don't stop the race. Failure is never a problem if you don't stop trying. Because that is the real failure. Stop trying, stop moving is the real failure. Therefore, my dear friends, we need to be very hopeful. We need to be very, very strong at the moments of our failures in exams, failures in our performances, failures in our interviews, very strong to face those and to learn from those experiences the mistakes that we have done, the things that we shouldn't have said at an interview, the mistakes or some of the things that if we were to do differently, that would have be handy in our own performances in various fields. To learn from those, learn from our mistakes, learn from our failures, and to move forward without stopping. This is the life a true Christian should have, the life of hope a true Christian should sustain, my dear friends. In the book of Proverbs, out of various things written about hope, written about how to face failures, I chose these beautiful two verses from the third chapter of Proverbs, verse 5 to 6. Proverbs chapter the 3rd, verses 5 to 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. Sometimes we become failures. We face failures when we have lot of confidence in our own understanding. But if we are a hopeful generation, hopeful people of God, we need to give a bigger room to God and His marvelous deeds. And this will make us grow in our faith, grow in the hope that we have about the wonders that God can do in my life, assuring through the history that the wonders God has done in our lives. We can move forward very strong, being very hopeful that He would lead us always to victory.